Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show you guys how to get instant mortgage quotes without needing to run a credit check. If you're new to my channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my personal finance videos. Let's get into the video. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock for the last 6 months, you've probably noticed the interest rates on mortgages have gone down significantly. Everybody's talking about refinances, everybody's buying homes because the interest rates are so low. Even for me, back in June, I was able to refinance my mortgage to 3.125% for less than $1,100. That's pretty ridiculous. And even today, if I were to refinance, I could get a 2.625% rate for less than $1,000. That's pretty ridiculous. And if you're in the market for buying a primary residence, the rates are even lower. Now, you're probably wondering how I stay up to date with all these rates and how do I know when it's low? Well, I actually have a little tool that I use that I'll share with you guys later in the video. Now, in order to show you guys how to get the latest rates, I'm going to show you guys on my computer here, but just know that it does work on a mobile phone as well, and you can easily do the same thing on an iPhone or an Android. So let's head over there now and I'll show you guys how to do it. So here we are on the website that I use. It's called BoxHomeLoans, and they are able to give you instant quotes, and it's also going to give you pretty accurate closing costs up front without all the gimmicks and all the sales pitches, and you don't even need to enter in your email or anything. You don't need to enter nothing. So let's go ahead and just get our instant quote. It's really simple. It takes less than 15 seconds, as you can see here. But obviously I'm going to be explaining things to you guys, so it'll take a little bit longer. But when you're actually doing this, it's probably going to take you less than a minute to get a quote. So here you're going to decide if you're either purchasing a home or refinancing a home. Pretty much everything's going to be pretty much the same. The only difference is some of the language is going to be different here. It's going to say sale price instead of property value. In the refinance tab, you'll have a cash out option. If you don't know what this is just you taking money out of your home when you do a refinance. Let's say you owe $300,000 on your house and your house is worth $400,000. Well, you can take a $350,000 loan and take $50,000 in cash back as a cash out option. And then all the other ones I'll explain in the purchase. So let's just pretend we're going to do a purchase and we're interested in buying a home. Let's say our budget is $400,000. And let's say we are going to put 20% down. And obviously if you have 10% down, just change this to 10% and it'll do the calculation for you. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to do 20% down. Here it's going to ask you, do you want to waive escrow? If you don't know what this is, all this means is it's going to set up an account and calculate what your property tax and insurance is going to be with your monthly payment. So if you do waive escrow, then it's going to exclude all of that from the closing costs. And this actually might be a better way if you want to compare loans, because then you can keep those things out of the closing costs and it won't inflate the numbers. Now, usually it's a good idea to probably not waive escrow, because more often than not, most people forget about their property tax bill that they have to pay. And if you just include it in your monthly payment, which basically means set up an escrow account, then all of a sudden you won't forget to pay this. And it's better just to see your full monthly payment now with all of this included. So normally I leave waive escrow as no. Then you're going to select what kind of home it is. So in this case, most likely you're probably buying your first residence. They do investment properties as well. And if you're buying a second home, maybe 50 miles away or more, then you can select this option. The rates are going to be lowest for primary residence homes because you're going to be living in there and it's going to have the least amount of risk to the bank. Here you can select what kind of home it is. So is it a single family, condominium, townhouse? In my case, I'm just going to put single family residence. And then down here, your credit score. So you can estimate this. You can go look on Credit Karma and you can try to figure out what your credit score is. Or if you know you have excellent credit, you can just assume you have like a 760 or something. Most likely anything over 720 is going to give you the best rates, but you can play around with this and see what comes up. And then here, I'm just going to put some random state and city. And you can just check here in this list, whatever state they have available. I don't think they are in all 50 states right now, but they do have a pretty good coverage here. And then hopefully you can find the city or county that you're from, so that way they can give you an accurate estimate. And then down here, if you're a veteran, if you put yes, they'll give you VA options here. Since I'm not a veteran, I'm just gonna hit no. So let's go ahead and just hit get rates here. And you can see it was really simple. They didn't ask any information. They didn't even ask me what my name was or even what my job was. They didn't really care. So here you can see there are different types of loan programs. You can do an FHA, you can do a conventional, you can do a jumbo loan, or you can do a USDA loan. I'll give you the quick rundown on what these loans are. Basically, a conventional is probably the best loan you can get that's going to have the least amount of fees and the least amount of junk fees. If your credit's not too good, FHA might be a good option for you. If you don't have a lot to put down, FHA might be a good option as well, because the down payment requirement on FHA is really low. It's only 5%, I believe. And then your credit score only has to be, I think, 620 or higher to qualify for an FHA. If you're low income, you can check the USDA option. You can see if you qualify for this. This will give you really good rates. Jumbo loans are normally for loans that are over $400,000. I can't remember the exact number, but if you are buying a house for $500,000 or $600,000, then most likely you're gonna have to go jumbo conventional. So for this video, I'm just gonna use conventional, and I'm only gonna look at the 30 and 15-year loan products. You can do whatever you want. I found that 30 to 25 and 20 are all pretty much the same. And then 15 is where it kind of changes. And so I'll show you here, you can just expand these tiles and then you can see all the rates for each of the products. So for 15-year loans, you can see here, if I hit show all rates, you can get a loan for 2.125%. And what I'm looking at is this total cost column here. And I'm trying to find a loan that's gonna be negative or close to zero. So here today, most likely I would probably go with this 1.99% loan or 2%, it's pretty much the same thing. And it would only cost me $138. So that's how you quickly get a rate for a 15-year loan for this amount that we entered up here. It's a $320,000 loan on a $400,000 house. And then if you want to look at the 30-year rates, just expand that tile, hit show all rates, and you can see here you can get basically a 2.5% loan for about $500. And that's a pretty good deal considering just 6, 7, 8 years ago, interest rates were hovering around 4 to 6% on average. And now you're pretty much at half of that. And so your buying power is a lot more now, and also the closing cost is really low for this loan. So you can see here, you can quickly see all the rates, and you can play with these filters as well. I normally like to just put this all the way down to like under $2,000, just so that I can just see any loans that are free, which is negative, or close to zero, and any loans that are gonna cost me up to $2,000. Now earlier I didn't mention this, but that link that I'm using to access this page is actually a special link. You don't have to use a special link if you don't want to, but you can see here I have a partner code up here, and this is just from a deal website that I found a long time ago when I started using this site. It just gives you a small discount on your loan. It doesn't do anything for me or anything like that. This is more just to save you an extra couple $100 on your closing costs. And if you expand one of these, you'll actually see that it's listed in here in the loan costs under the charges here, and you can see it has a corporate discount of $800. Otherwise you would end up paying $1,300 for this same loan. Now, if you're confused with all these numbers and what everything means, I have a whole nother video talking about how to compare loans, apples to apples, with other quotes. It goes through all the loan costs, third-party charges, government fees, how escrow is calculated, so that way you can compare one loan product to another loan product at another company. That'll ensure that you get the lowest rate possible with the lowest closing costs possible. I'll leave a link on the screen for you guys so you guys can check it out later. All right guys, so there you have it. Very easy, took less than a minute, probably 15 to 30 seconds. And normally when my friends or family or even my viewers ask me what the latest rates are, I just go on my phone, I have it bookmarked with the referral code, and I just look it up for them really quickly and I give them the information. So now you guys know how to do it as well. And if you guys like what you see, let's say you were doing a refinance and you like the rate that you saw, then you can go ahead and just start an application, put in your information, put in your employment information, your bank account, some of your assets and how you plan on doing your down payments and all that stuff, and then run a credit check. That's the only difference between this company and some of the other lenders that I've dealt with in the past. They do require you to pay an upfront credit check, which is about $35. And if your credit comes back the same as what you inputted, then all those rates you saw earlier are gonna be pretty much the same. And then from there, you're gonna decide if you wanna lock the rate, or you can wait and see if the rates go down a little bit the next day. Sometimes they can go up as well. So if you like what you see and you're willing to pay for that closing cost, just lock it in at that moment. Now you do wanna be a little bit careful about locking your rate, because if you don't have any offers out and you don't think your offer is gonna get accepted by another seller, then you probably don't wanna lock the rate yet. Now obviously if you're doing a refinance, then you can just lock the rate right there and then proceed forward with the loan application. And then 45 to 60 days later, you're gonna be in your new loan enjoying that new monthly payment with that sweet low interest rate. So earlier I mentioned how I stay on top of all of these rates. I don't go on my phone and refresh the page all day and enter all the information in. That would take a long time and I don't have that kind of time. What I do is I actually use a feature on the website that you saw earlier, and I actually set up an alert to track the rates for me. So for me, I'm at 3.125% right now, and I don't even want to consider refinancing unless it's at least half a point less than what it is now, with a closing cost of less than $1,000. And they actually have a tool that will allow you to set that up for your exact configuration. So let me show you guys what that tool looks like on the screen again. So we're back here on the same page as earlier, and as you can see here, there's a rate tracker button right here. And remember, all this information that you entered earlier will actually carry over into the rate tracker. So let's go ahead and just click this button, and you can see here all the numbers have carried over as well as the loan type. So if you're doing a refinance, you can change it to refinance if you like. And then down here, select the loan type you want to use, and then select if you want to do a 30-year tracker or a 15-year, kind of depends on what you want. And let's say in my case, I wanted a 2.625, so that's what I entered in here, because that's 0.5% less than what I'm at today. And then here, all the same information. And then here you can enter your contact information and your email address. And then down here, I usually like to track it by total costs, because all this other stuff doesn't really matter to me. At the end of the day, I only care about what this is gonna cost me out of my pocket. So here, I'll put something like $1,000 or $2,000. It depends on what you're comfortable with. And then once you're done, just hit submit request. And then now every day, BoxHomeLoan is gonna check their rates. And then when it hits these criteria, it's actually gonna send you an email. And I'll show you what that email looks like right now. All right, so you can see here on my screen, it's emailed me a pretty good amount of times here. And it's basically letting me know that my rate has dropped to the desired number. And so you can see here in the email, it's basically letting me know that it's 2.625% now, and it's less than that $1,000 threshold that I wanted. And basically I can go and click here and continue my loan application if I want to, or I can just simply ignore this email like I've been doing. So that's the rate tracker that I use, and that's how I keep track of my refinances, so I don't have to constantly check it all the time. And that way, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I don't have to stress about it. The nice thing about the rate tracker is you don't get calls from those annoying bankers and lenders and all that junk mail that you get in the mail. You can just rest assured that if it happens and the price is right, then you're just gonna get notified, and it's up to you if you wanna continue or not. Now, you probably never heard of this company before, and most likely you just heard it because I just told you about it, and maybe you watched some of my other videos. But I can tell you a lot of my viewers have been using this company, and they've been having very positive experiences. They're really easy. Once you start the application and you verify a couple things, you just upload your pay stubs, your bank account, just so they can verify funds, and everything is done online on a computer. It's really quick. And I'll be honest, for someone like me who's a little bit more tech savvy, it was really easy. I didn't really have to do a whole bunch of work to get my refinance through, which is what I like. Well guys, it's that simple. I'll leave a link to that website down in the video description below, so that way you guys can get that referral discount. I wanna make sure you guys get the best deal possible, and no, I'm not getting any sponsorship for this. I don't get paid to use that link. I don't get paid when you guys use that link either. It's just a link I found on a deal website that happens to still work. And as you saw earlier on that $320,000 example, it's an extra $800 off on your closing costs. So make sure you guys use that link down in the video description to get that additional discount. Now, if you found this video helpful and you actually end up getting a great rate and you go through with your refinance or your purchase, make sure you guys hit that like button down below for me. It really helps my channel out a lot. If you guys want to help me out even further, feel free to buy me a coffee. I have a link down in the video description as well. That way I can make more of these videos for you guys to help save you guys a lot of money. You can also support this channel by sharing this video with your friends or family if they're thinking about refinancing and maybe they're a little bit scared of doing it. I have a lot of other videos on my channel talking about comparing loan quotes, mistakes to avoid when refinancing, so make sure you guys check some of those videos out. I'll leave links to those videos in the video description as well, and at the end of the video so you guys can find them easier. And if you guys have any questions about refinancing or purchasing or loans in general, you guys can leave a comment down below. I'll try to get back to you if I know the answer. And I've helped a lot of you guys already, and I actually enjoy doing it. So feel free to reach out down below. And if you don't want to share your information in a comment, you can also email me. You'll find my email address in my channel page, and you can send over your details that way. I won't share it with anybody, I promise. And I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure you guys also hit that subscribe button down below, and also hit that notification bell for more personal finance videos. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.